Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another ChartNexus video. So this is the Traders Club for SGX, Singapore stocks. My name is Jared. Okay, the market has closed. Now it's 7 p.m. All right, so the market is closed for the day. Very good day for Singapore stocks. Yeah. So let's take a look at some opportunities, right, that you can look for going forward. The supports are continuing to hold. Yeah, so that's a good sign. Right, so several of the stocks are beginning to turn uptrend, and most importantly, they are pulled back, and the support levels had been holding. Yeah, so let's visit some of these opportunities. Okay, so today is the 2nd of June. Right, so a great start for the a great start to the market. Right, after Singapore exit the circuit breaker. Let's hope we do not have to visit circuit breaker again. All right. Okay, so let's look at STI. Yeah, so as we can see, close up 60 points, right? So fantastic. Last week we were still worried, right, because the price failed the first support of the 50 and 20 MA. Yeah, but as we mentioned, there were triple support. Yeah, so one of them being this gap support, which have been holding on pretty well since April, and it continued to hold well even in end of May. Yeah, so this is pretty strong support. So we always respectful of gaps, right? So previous gap up, right? They tend to form support level subsequently. Okay. On the same note, previous gap downs, yeah, they form potential future resistances. Yeah. So that's the reason why these two big gaps up here for STI is something to look for. Not to be overly bearish, but just to be cautious as STI approaches those levels in future if you have to go higher. Yeah, so now as we bounce up higher, of course the immediate horizontal resistance would be this point around 2672. Right, that is the horizontal resistance formed in mid of April. Okay, but I think if you have to go further up, the uptrend, if you have to resume, right, market outlook start getting bullish, you may visit this gap, which is around 2751 to 2780. Yeah, so that is the first gap. Of course, the next one is at 2009. Yeah, so we worry when we come to that. Okay, so all in all, bullish. All right, support levels holding 20 MA above 50 MA. So these are signs that the prices are able to stay up. Okay, now before I talk about the opportunities, I just want to highlight one stock which we have been talking about it for a while, SGX. Yeah, some of you were in earlier, some of you were in later. All right, so yeah, some were in at this 929, 930 price based on the breakout. So whichever the case, I hope you have set your stop losses, right? Because every trade we discuss, we talk about stop loss. I hope you have set your stop loss, right? And in so doing, of course, there's a gap down, but you should not have suffered more than 10%. Right? You will only have suffered more than 10% if you're still holding on to the trade. Yeah, if not, if you've gotten out, it could be a small less than 5%, or you've taken a trade later, it could be around 10% or less. All right, so I think we can't stress enough of the importance of cut losses. Yeah, so please stick to the plan. Yeah. Okay, so that's unfortunate, but it happens. So like I said, that's the reason for our trailing, our stop loss. Okay, now, so going forward, I mean, of course, these things happen, but how many times per year, right? So just to put that in perspective, so you will not lose faith. Okay, now let's look at those stocks that we highlighted previously. Remember the electronic stocks, yeah? Okay, so I'll just go back to them. Of course, the popular ones like AEM, right? They continue to be staying up, continue to stay on the uptrend. But as I mentioned, it's tough to take trades like this because they hardly visit the support levels like the 20 and 50 MA. All right, so I'm not saying stocks like that will not go up, but we prefer that it pulls back and tests the support between the 20 MA, the one in red, and the 50 MA. All right, so that's something that is lacking in AEM. That's the reason why there were no trades for that. All right, okay, for UMS as well. No doubt it continued to go higher, but the fact that it didn't pull back enough to the 20 or 50 MA support. Yeah, so this is where if you follow the rule, if it didn't pull back to it, then this is where we may not be taking the trade. Okay, but those stocks that did pull back, so we highlighted them as well, right? So like High P, So the difference between high P and AEM, UMF is, see the difference? Right, the similarity is of course they were on uptrend, 20 MA is above the 50 MA. Right, but what is more important is there is a pullback. They pullback enough to test the support level. Right, so this gives you an indication that it's now testing support, and you can see whether buyers are coming back. All right, so based on this, I think your entry could have been, all right. So based on this, see, this is the day. Okay, so if I just zoom in, this was the day that it hits the support level, 20 MA. Right, if you use the MACD as a signal, right, 4 red, 1 green, but there's so many red already, which is good. So consecutively, we look for at least 4 red, and then when we have a green, yeah, so this is where you could be looking for your trade. So your entry price, you set your entry price anywhere above, right, the high of the day. Okay, so this is where you could be in the trade already. Yeah, that's the one that we were talking about. Yeah, so this is the one that if for those who are in, you could be in already, right, on this day, on the 27th of May, all right, last week. Okay, so if not, then probably gotta wait for the next signal, or we look for other stocks. All right, so other stocks like Valuetronics. Okay, so Valuetronics, so you see the similarity is uptrend, 20 MA above 50 MA, right? But the good thing is, can you see it has pulled back and at least touched the 20 MA support. Right, so I just run quickly to AEM. You see the difference for AEM, why we couldn't take the trade? It didn't come to the support at all. Yeah, so we couldn't say that it's testing support. Okay, for Valuetronics, right? So this is where it's more ideal, right? Or something that we prefer because it's testing. You see, it touches the 20 MA. So same thing, you look down for the MACD signal. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's already at least 4 consecutive red bars. Yeah, so we're just waiting for green. You can see the next few days, it continues to be red. Yeah, so it's still consecutive 4 red bars. You're just waiting for green, right? So there are more than 4 red bars already consecutively, right? And the green appears, right? And when it appear today. All right, it appeared today. So this is where you could be looking to take the trade tomorrow if it can trade up to 68.5 cents, right? 68.5 cents. All right, now, so I just repeat, the reason this is a stock to look at is because it's uptrend, 20 is above 50 MA, price touches the support, and there is a signal 4 red, 1 green today. So you take the trade tomorrow, right, if it can come to 68.5. Okay, of course, cut loss, you can set the cut loss beneath, right, so you could set it at 57.5. All right, if the percentage risk is more than 10%, then you got to trade smaller lot size. Yeah, so if not, you'll be your risk will be higher than anticipated. Yeah, so usually those below $1 stocks, usually the stop loss may be slightly higher, right, because of the every half cent, the percentage will be high. So based on percentage wise, it could be more than 10%. Yeah, so trade smaller and adjust your position sizing. Okay, so this is one stock to look at, Valuetronics. Okay, so let's see if we can resume the uptrend. No gaps to worry about. Yeah, so likelihood of it continue looks good. Okay, so pay attention to Valuetronics. All right. Okay, another one to look at is see Franken. We talked about that previously. Oops. Yeah. So Franken, right? So right, we're saying at that time, if last week we'll be waiting for it to pull back to the support. Yeah, so now it's pulled back to the support. If we look down, then it's all red. You can see it's already at least 4 consecutive red MACD bars already. Yeah, so we're basically waiting for the green. All right, so you can see the green. Yes, this is where it happened yesterday. So where would your entry price be then? Okay, so this is the high is 82 cents. So your entry price, you could be looking at 82.5 cents. Right, again, the cut loss could be pretty wide for this. Yeah, again, below $1 stock, percentage risk could be high. So please trade smaller. Yeah, please reduce your position, your sizing. Okay, for those who are in the trade, you could be in today, right? Because today it has hit the 82.5 cents, the market confirmation price, isn't it? Right. So Franken, it has confirmed today, but the price hasn't run yet. So which means tomorrow, if it's still around 82.5 or 83 cents, it's still a valid trade. Okay. Whereas for Valuetronics, right, the difference is Valuetronics, it hasn't hit, right? So you're looking at Valuetronics as though you're looking at Franken yesterday, yeah. So just like Franken today hit the entry price. So for Valuetronics, right, we're looking at Valuetronics now. We wait for it to hit the entry price tomorrow. Okay, so this is Franken. Now, again, if you find that the percentage risk is too high, yeah, more than 10%, it's in fact 17%, either you trade smaller or don't take this trade. Okay, don't take this trade because we always look at the risk, right? This will tell us it's a good setup, it's a good opportunity, but again, is it worthwhile the risk? Because no setup is guaranteed profit. Okay, so all these are the things you need to bear in mind. Yeah. Okay, venture. I believe some of you should be in venture already, right? Because previously it exhibited some trading signal. Yeah, so if you look at venture, signal was around here, right? So the trend on the 20 above 50 MA. So if you look at the MACD, right? So this is a green after a series of red. All right, so your entry price could be mid of May back then, right? If it goes up to 1580, your cut loss would have been set at 1480, 1487, 1480. Right, the price went up, so this is the day the trade could have been initiated. Make sense? Yeah. So of course this is now, right? So as the price zigzag bounce up and down, of course it didn't hit the stop loss, you'll still be in the trade, and now there's some potential of going higher. So for those who are in, you should still be in this trade. All right. Yeah. Sometimes it takes some time before the price continue. So don't just exit because there's inactivity. All right. Now talking about inactivity, let me just bring to CapitaLand quickly because somebody has been asking about this. Remember CapitaLand? We talked about CapitaLand in the past for it to break out. You can remember? If not, you just go back to the past video where we talk about the breakout near the end of March. Now, of course, the actual breakout happened in April, double bottom breakout. Then of course we set the stop loss, right? We set the 2 times ATR stop loss. All right. So what happened was the breakout did happen over here, right? So some of you went in, right, based on the signal, right? You took the trade, and after that, for many weeks, it just bounced up and down, and you're so worried it may hit your stop loss. But if you stick to the plan, this is where we are right now. Yeah. So today, right, those who have gone in back then in April, right, based on the double bottom breakout, the price is now going in the right direction. Yeah, so you did not hit the stop loss, so you're still in the trade, and so now you're enjoying some profit. Let's see how far this may go. All right. Okay, so I'm just trying to illustrate basically what I meant by try and hold on. Right. So for venture, it was shorter. It's about 1 week. Right, and now the price is starting to move back again. Okay, so important, set a stop loss, and also very important, don't exit before you hit the stop loss. All right, set your stop loss. If you hit your stop loss, please exit. But if it doesn't hit, please do not just exit because you're scared or because the price is not moving. Okay, then you're just getting unnecessary losses. Okay, one more I want to highlight Sheng Siong. This is what we talk about as well. Lately Sheng Siong is in the news. Okay, not so much of the financial news, more on the social news, right? They were saying, their staff goes around the neighborhood. If there's any funeral, they give some of the Kim, right? $200. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, but that aside, talking about the chart itself, trend 20 above 50. So when it hit the first time it comes to the support, it was here, right? So it comes to the 20 MA support, but we are looking for at least 4 red, but there isn't, there's only 2. Okay, so there's not much of a signal per se. But if you go back to my last week's video, we're also talking about breakout trade for Sheng Siong. Okay, MA signal, technical signal aside, it was trading on the range bound at that time. Yeah. So this is where we say if you can break out of 159, yeah, so there could be a potential more upside. Okay, don't forget Sheng Siong is on a historical high, so never before trading at 159. So if you can break out, means the market sees value and is willing to pay for higher price. In fact, much higher than ever before. Yeah, that's the reason why 160, right? 159 is the high. We're looking at the breakout. So if we hit 160, you could be taking this trade as a risk, right, for the breakout trade. All right. Okay, but again, be mindful of where you're going to set this stop loss. Yeah, if you use the 50 MA, your stop loss will be around here. All right. So for that, because Sheng Siong has run up quite a bit, the cut loss could be pretty high. Yeah, 13%. Okay, so be conscious and cautious, right? If not, trade smaller. You wish to take a breakout, but if you feel that the risk is too high, then give this a pass. All right. No trade is guaranteed. Okay, but small loss is something you can control. Okay, so take note of that. Okay, another one to look at is MapleTree Logistics. Right. Okay, basically not so much as to trade now because it's testing the historical high resistance, but just to illustrate, this is where the signal we are looking at today, right? High P, Valuetronics, Franken Venture. These are the stocks that present this opportunity. Just that MapleTree Logistics was something we talked about previously. Yeah, so can you see it's the same pattern, 20 above 50 MA, then there's a green after a series of red. So your entry price will be somewhere above the recent, today's high of 184. So you will look at 185, cut loss you can set at 161, below the 50 MA. Yeah, so ultimately, of course, it hit the entry price. So this was towards the end of May, right? And of course, this is where just continue to run up a little bit. Okay, so these are the same pattern that can be repeated. Yeah, so just need to wait for them. Okay, just need to wait for them. Okay, one more I can talk about is Yangzijiang. All right, so Yangzijiang is pretty similar to Venture in a sense that some of you could have been in already, right? And you waited out for a while. Okay, so the point of entry would have been here. Okay, you can see it's the same pattern, right? Uptrend 20 MA above 50 MA. The price came down and touched the 20 MA and find a support. The price didn't go lower, it was supported. And then MACD shows the green after a series of reds. Yeah, so this is where you can see your entry price of 955. Your cut loss you could set 855. Okay, so yeah, recently the risks all appear to be slightly bigger than usual, right? Because of the way 20 MA and 50 MA is interacting, because the price has been having some sharp runs. Okay, but in any case, yeah, so you could have entered this trade. So some of you could have gone in here, right? Based on this pattern, you could have gone into Yangzijiang here. And of course, like CapitaLand, like Venture, it was just up and down, up and down. So like I said, important to set the stop loss. Also important not to exit without it hitting your stop loss. Yeah, because if you just get worried the price is not moving and you exit, it becomes an unnecessary exit, and then the price go back, and then now you're in profit. But if you exit prematurely, then you basically lost the trade. All right, so these are things that please be mindful of. All right, so quick recap. Look out for stocks like Valuetronics. There is a buying opportunity, right? If tomorrow it can go to at least 68.5 cents. Yeah, so this is based on the trend following strategy. Then of course you can be looking at Sheng Siong, but Sheng Siong you got to wait for the breakout. Right, wait for the breakout. If you can see 160 and breakout 159. Okay, then of course you can be looking at high P, the same industry as Valuetronics, UMS, AEM, right? Electronics sector, sorry. Yeah, so this one, it had basically for those who went in high P previously, the entry price is 113. So now we are near 113. So this could be a trade you could look at as well. And for those who missed it previously. Okay, Venture is those who are in, right? You basically stay in. Those who are not in yet, of course, previously they entered around 1580, right? So now we're around the vicinity as well. So it's also a trade you could want to take if you missed the previous one. All right. Okay. So yeah. So these are the opportunities. The market seems to have been showing more signs of bullish stocks, right? So we just need to follow the direction of the trade. You never know whether how far this uptrend will continue, but we just follow what the market is doing. All right, so with that, thank you very much for watching. Like and follow our Facebook page, and then share this video with your friends. Thank you very much. See you.